Hey everybody, it's your boy Memphis here coming at you live with more cards. I know YGO Pro just dumped a whole bunch of cards. We're going to look at them real quick. We got some legacy support. We got some new Dinowrestlers. We got all sorts of stuff. So let's get started here. So first off, we've got the monster Dinowrestler Coelevich, who is a Dinowrestler, of course. He's level 2 Earth Dino, 100 attack, 800 defense. If you control the monster, special summon this card from the hand. Okay, that's pretty obvious. You can only special summon this card once per duel this way. That's very restrictive. It must be very good. If summoned this way, it cannot be used as material for a link summon except for the link summon of a Dinowrestler. So, it's an easy link material for Dinowrestlers, which is good, but the fact that you can only summon him once per duel with his own effect is kind of restrictive. I would only put this as a very questionable 2-of. So, that's all there is to really say about that dude. Free link material for Dinowrestlers. That's all there is to it. A little out of order. I should have put the traps last. But we got Smile Potion. Look at it. This here is a normal trap card, part of the Smile's an archetype. Yeah. Anyway, if you control the monsters and you control a monster whose attack is higher than its original attack, you draw 2 cards. But what does Smile Potion do? Jokes aside, it's a trap form of Pot of Greed, not Jar of Greed, but Pot of Greed. I don't know. I mean, it's free drop power. Why not? I mean, once per turn, yeah, but whatever. I'd run it. Next up, Salamangrate Fennec. Get it out of here. I don't like these. I don't like Salamangrates. Get them out of here. Get out. Out. But yes, what does this do? Level 3 Fire, Cyber, 1600, 200 defense. Get that rekindling in there. And if a Cyber's monster you control, special summon from the extra deck is destroyed by battle or card effect of your opponents. Special summon this card from the JY if it was there when that monster was destroyed, or the hand if it was not. So basically, if your link is destroyed, you just summon this pretty much from wherever. If this card is sent to the graveyard as link material for the link summon of a link 2 or higher monster, you can add a Salamangrate normal spell from deck to hand. You only use each effect once per turn. So yeah, it does what all Salamangrates do, which is be spammy and annoying, and it keeps coming out, and it fetches all your normal spells. So yeah, the Salamangrates are already throwing a fiesta, I'm sure. Okay, that's fine. Moving on to more important things, we've got Chaos Betrayer, looking like was it Witch Doctor or Sparta all grown up? I tell you what. Okay, so this is a level 6 Dark Fiend, 2000 attack and defense, Chaos Monster. If this card's in the GY, you can banish a light and dark monster from the GY, except for himself, special summon this card defense, but banish it when it leaves the field, and when special summoned, you can target a card in your opponent's graveyard and banish it, but you only use each of these effects once per turn. I mean, hey, you throw it in with the other Chaos Monsters, at least it fits the archetype, so can't really complain about that, and it disrupts the opponent's graveyard, so it does something. Would have been really nice if you could special summon it during, like, your opponent's turn, but, you know, I mean, that might have been, no, that would have been really much better if it had been during your turn, too. So, running into by preference. Next, the trap card Manhunt, which looks less like a manhunt. Oh, wait, no, there's a bunch of dudes, and there's Go, the Gallant Ninja. The continuous trap. Activate this card by targeting a face-up monster your opponent controls. Take control of it. But while you have that monster, it cannot attack or activate its effects. When that monster leaves the field, destroy the card. So basically, it just steals your opponent's monsters. It's basically mind control in a trap form. I mean, you can steal your opponent's monsters during their turn and disrupt their plays. So I kind of like it. At the same time, I don't like it. Well, I like it. I'm fine with it. If you want to put this in a jokey joke sort of gimmicky build, go ahead and run a couple copies of this to disrupt your opponent, and then use their monsters for link materials. I would do it. Let's see, what's next? Side Reflector, which looks like a headless frogman in a chair. Okay. Level 1 Dark, Psychic 2-1, 400 attack, 300 defense. If it is normal special summon, you can add Assault Mode Activate, or a card that lists the card Assault Mode Activate in its text from deck to hand, except for this dude. Okay, so it's Assault Mode support. I figured we were going to get more of this, but still. You can reveal Assault Mode Activate in your hand, target a monster in your GY that lists the card Assault Mode Activate in its text except Side Reflector, special summon it, and if you do increase its level by 4, You only use each effect once per turn. So basically this recycles your Assault Mode monsters that you've already summoned if need be. And it searches out Assault Mode Activate and the new version. So basically they're pushing Assault Mode for whatever strange reason. Yeah. I can't talk today. Anyway, so if you're making a dedicated Assault Mode deck, you should run at least 2 copies of this to search out things. Probably even 3. And then you link this off for Linkaribo. So I can't really complain about it, but I'm still not playing Assault Modes. Thank you. Though I am curious to see what new monster gets Assault Moded. Here's the important card for today. Neo Flamvell Lady. Flamevells are getting support. Who knew? Level 4 Fire Pyro, 1600 attack, 200 defense. E. Okay, we got a quick effect. Send a fire monster from hand to the GY. Then target a card in your opponent's GY and banish it. And if a card in your opponent's GY is banished while this card is on the field, you can send a fire monster with 200 defense or less from deck to the grave except for itself. So basically, it does what the Flamevells do. Well, the Neo Flamvells, I should say. It disrupts the opponent's graveyard. However, this one's a bit more relevant because you can, get some dumping, get some searching going. Don't like Neo Flamvell Lady or whatever. Wait, what was her name again? I'll put it up on the screen. I forget her name off the top of my head, but it exists. Dump this card with this card. Okay, that's what you want to do. We'll see how it goes. I'm curious to see if Flamevells get a bit of a resurgence. That would be very nice. Mayakashi Memorial, the continuous spell. Monsters your opponent controls lose 100 attack and defense for each Mayakashi in the GY with a different name. Mayakashis are all about swinging around and doing synchro after synchro. They're going to fill up the graveyard pretty quick, so that makes sense. You can only use one of these following effects once per turn. You can send a card. You can send this card in a face-up Mayakashi. You control the GY draw a card. Okay. You can banish this card in a zombie monster from the GY. Target a Mayakashi in your GY special summon. All of the Mayakashi synchros have effects when they are special summoned from the graveyard. So this makes perfect sense. You use the first effect to draw an extra card. Then the next turn you banish and bring back one of your synchros. Pretty self-explanatory. I wouldn't play more than 2 of it though, but it's something. It's something. It works. Now this is an important one. Cloudian Aerosol. Doesn't Aerosol kill clouds? We better investigate this. What does this do? Discard a Cloudian, then target a face-up monster on the field. Place fog counters on it equal to the discarded monster's level. I mean, it distributes fog counters. But it would be nice if it distributed counters to every face-up monster, as opposed to just the one. You can banish this card and a Cloudian from the GY, special summon a Cloudian from your deck. Ooh, that's actually nice. You can summon Eye of the Typhoon easier, or Nimbus Man, even better. So, yeah, that works. You can only use one of these effects per turn, only that turn. Yeah, that makes it. But again, this would have been better if it affected all monsters, like a better Cloudian Squall. Because Cloudian Squall is the best Cloudian fog counterplacer. And so you'd rather this be a card that could do just like that, but better. So I can definitely see this working, and I might have to pull out my old Cloudian deck now that I think about it. So, be on the lookout for this card. We got another card here, Overflow Dragon, which does not look like a dragon. Oh, it looks like a bull-headed fireball thing. Level 1 Dark Dragon. No attack or defense. When a monster in the field is destroyed by a card effect, you can special summon this card on the hand. And if this effect was activated when 2 or more monsters were destroyed, you get an Overflow token. Oh, okay, I get the name. I get the name. It's the Overflow. Catch the Overflow. Basically, this is just a card for you to recover, your resources after you get nuked, or you nuke yourself if you feel like doing that sort of thing. I mean, you can make a lot of link materials, and that's all I can say about this. That's what it's for. This is a link material generating card. That's what it's for. Lastly, for the main deck, we have Altergeist Haunted Rock. It's a rock. A big old continuous rock. And when this card, this set, I can't talk, hold on one second. If this card is set by the effect of an Altergeist, it can be activated this turn. Of course it can. You don't use each of these effects once per turn. When this card is activated, send Altergeist from hand to the GY. When your opponent activates a trap, you can send an Altergeist monster from your hand to the graveyard, negate it, destroyed. So basically it's the trap stopper, along with some dumping. I never played Altergeist. I don't know what you dump with this, but I'm sure it's something annoying. Anyway, we got some extra deck cards now. We got Dinowrestler Giga Spinavatu. Dinowrestler Giga, that's what he's called. Dinosaur Tuna and a non-tuna. Alright, level 8, 3000 attack, no defense. Interesting. This card battles, both can activate spell traps until the end of the damage step. You got yourself your standard ancient gear effect. Opponent's monsters cannot target other monsters for attacks, so basically protects your smaller Dinowrestlers. Once returning, you can target a monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and sure, a bit of spot destruction. That's fine. What else? If this card would be destroyed by battle card effect, you can destroy another card you control instead. I can see this being a pretty nasty boss for the Dinowrestlers. I mean, spot destruction protects your little monsters. And then you can destroy your own cards to protect it and possibly trigger some effects. So, I put it 1 or 2 at the most. No, I wouldn't put, this isn't like a 3 of thing, but it's definitely a 1 or 2 of. Definitely, most certainly one of these one-ups, yes. Next we got some Gokis. Goki the Blade Ogre, which is a link 3. Arrows pointing up, down, and to the left. 2400 attack. And needs 2 plus Gokis. Gets 300 attack for every monster it points to. So it can gain up to 900 attack. So it'll put it up to a 3500. That's not bad. Once per turn, you contribute a monster on either field this card points to. This card can make a second attack on each battle phase. Okay, that's the most important effect right there. You contribute your opponent's monsters with this card. So it can remove very troublesome monsters. It's a very nasty effect. So Goki the Blade Ogre is not only a big beat stick, he's also a, not the perfect remover obviously, but it can remove some annoying things. Provided of course your opponent has a monster, pointing to it and all that good stuff. So we'll see how that one goes. Next is Goki Solid Ogre, who looks more like a boxer than a wrestler to be honest. But he has the same effect. He's a link 3 as well, with arrows up, down, and again to the left. However, this one's looking over rather than diagonally. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects while it points to a Goki. Alright. Once per turn, being a quickie, you can target a Goki in your main monster zone, except this guy. Move that target to your main monster zone this card points to. Okay. So basically, you take this dude, you put him in your extra monster zone, you put a Goki with him. And then he can't be destroyed. And then you can use Goki's effect. And then you can move him over to the zone if you happen to use his effect. Or you lose the Goki. It's just like, what? It's okay. I mean, I kind of like I like Blade Ogre better. Solid Ogre, he's solid, but Blade is better. Next, we have a Cyberse Reminder. As if we need to be reminded of Cyberse in general. There we go. Alright, he's a rank 3 Exceed Light Cyberse, 1800 attack, 800 defense. And needs 2 level 3s. Totally generic after that, okay. You can eject a material from this card to target a Signet spell trap in the GY, add it to your hand. Recovery is always nice. If this Exceed summon card is destroyed by battle or by an opponent's card effect while it's in its owner's control, you can special summon 2 level 4 Cyberse with different names from the deck, but negate their effects. You can only use each of these effects once per turn, and you cannot special summon from the extra deck the turn you activate either of this card's effects except for Cyberse monsters. Obviously, if you're playing Cyberse, you're always going to be summoning more Cyberse or Lynx monsters, so that last part isn't really that important. But this is a decent bit of recovery. A decent bit of special summoning more monsters when it gets destroyed. I mean, yeah, this is definitely going to get played in Cyberse. I mean, we're going to be reminded that Cyberse is a thing still, man. So expect to see this thing in the future. Next up, Altergeist, for whatever ridiculous reason, have a synchro monster. I don't know why, but it does. Level 6 Dark Spellcaster, of course. 2200, 1200. And let's see, you need a totally generic tuner and a non-tuner. When an opponent's special summon monster declares an attack, you can return an Altergeist you control to the hand, negate the attack. It's just they did need to negate more things, man. If this card is tributed and sent to the GY, you can special summon this card. You can only use each of these effects once per turn. So basically, you can tribute this from your extra monster zone, mind you, negate an opponent's attack, and then bring it right back to your main monster zone. I hate Altergeist so much. I mean, imagine if Hexsteel was pointing this thing. It would be very annoying. Alright, last god. We got Dinowrestler Dragon, which is... I know the face looks really familiar on this thing. I don't know why. I don't know, but it's a dragon with guns for hands, so that's something. Link 2 with arrows pointing up and down. Dark Dragon, 1600 attack. Needing 2 Dark Dragons, so bust out that Komori Dragon you've been saving up. During your opponent's end phase, you can target one opponent's attack position monster that did not declare an attack this turn. Destroy it, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack. Alright, so basically, you just prevent your opponent's monsters from attacking with something, like, I don't know, Bark, Thunder of Ruler, what's the other thing? I know it's on the tip of my tongue. Thunderous Roar, whatever. And then you can just pop the things and deal some burn damage. Alright. If a rocket monster is special summoned to your field while this card's in the GY, you can special summon this card, banish it when it leaves the field, and of course, only use each effect once per turn. So it's a rocket monster, but it's not a part of the archetype. That's kind of interesting. And it's an interesting card, and it's used for more Link material, of course. You put it in rockets, summon out that Boral Load Dragon, summon out that Boral Load Super Mega Ultra Megazord. I'm okay with this card. I mean, its effect's a little, what's the word? I can't find the words today. You're not always going to be able to use this effect to pop your opponent's monsters, but when you do, it'll be powerful, and it'll do some decent damage. And the fact that you can just bring this thing right back by special summoning a rocket monster by whatever means, you get this thing back, you can use it for more Link material. I'm fine with it. Alright, I think that's good for today's episode. This is longer than I usually like to make these card talk videos. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of these cards in the comments. Dig out that Cloudian deck. I'm not joking. Go do that right this second. And I'll see you guys next time that there are new cards to talk about. Take care.